Have you ever built something so personal that when it disappeared, you felt like you disappeared too? Not just a job, not just money, but a world. A world only you could see, until one day, nobody else believed in it anymore. This is the story of a man who didn't just lose his company, he lost his identity, and almost lost himself. Before the studio, before the failure, there was just a boy, a quiet boy. The kind teachers described as distracted. While other children played outside, he filled notebooks with characters, smiling animals, awkward heroes, tiny creatures with oversized emotions. He didn't draw perfectly, but he drew feelings. His parents worried. Drawing won't pay bills, they said gently, but the boy noticed something strange. Whenever someone looked at his drawings, they smiled, and that smile felt powerful, like magic. Years passed. The boy became a young man carrying the same sketchbook. Corners worn, pages soft from constant use. He moved to a crowded American city filled with noise, ambition, and impossible dreams. Everyone there wanted to become something. Actors, musicians, founders. He wanted to become a storyteller, not with cameras, not with speeches, but with animation. The studio wasn't impressive. 2 desks bought secondhand, a flickering ceiling light, a coffee machine that worked only if kicked twice. 3 friends believed in the dream. They worked nights, ate cheap noodles, slept on office chairs, but they laughed constantly because they weren't chasing money, they were building a world. Their first animation was rough. The second was better. The third made people online comment, "Why does this make me emotional?" That single comment changed everything. They weren't just animating, they were connecting. A small distributor noticed them. A contract arrived. Celebration filled the room. For the first time, the young man believed, this is real. The studio had a name now, a logo, a future. Success didn't collapse suddenly. It cracked slowly. Payments arrived late. Deadlines became tighter. The distributor demanded changes. Make it louder, make it faster, make it trend. The man felt uneasy. The stories were becoming noise instead of emotion. But rent had to be paid, so compromises began. Then came the email. The distributor was restructuring. Their contract was canceled. No warning, no backup, just silence. The office felt different that day. The coffee machine stayed untouched. Nobody joked. Numbers replaced dreams. Bills stacked higher. Investors stopped replying. One friend quietly accepted another job, then another. Soon, only the man remained. It happened on a cold morning. He arrived early carrying new sketches, hope still alive. But a paper was taped to the door. Legal language, cold words, property seized. For a moment, he didn't understand. He stared at his reflection in the glass. Inside were desks, computers, memories, locked away. He laughed softly. Not because it was funny, because his mind refused to accept it. Everything he built, gone without ceremony. No dramatic ending, just paperwork. Days blurred together. His phone stopped ringing. People who once praised him now gave advice. Maybe animation isn't practical. You're talented, get a real job. Dreams are good when you're young. Each sentence felt heavier than failure. He wasn't just broke, he felt invisible. One night, he sat alone at a nearly empty train station. Neon lights flickered. Trains arrived and left. Everyone seemed to be going somewhere, except him. He opened his old notebook. Inside was a tiny sketch. A small mouse-like character. Simple. Round ears. Curious eyes. Drawn years ago, before success, before pressure. He stared at it for a long time. No sadness, no tears. Just realization. Maybe the problem wasn't failure. Maybe he had forgotten why he started. The man understood something painful. He had tried to build a business before building a legacy. He chased approval, algorithms, trends, speed. But the drawings that mattered were slow, honest, human. For the first time since losing everything, he smiled. A quiet decision formed. This time, I won't chase attention. I'll create emotion. Even if nobody watches. He moved into a tiny apartment. One desk, one laptop, No team, no investors, just silence. He studied storytelling again, watched people in cafes, observed children laughing, noticed how emotions worked in real life. He redesigned the small silent character from his notebook. The character didn't talk, it simply reacted, felt, connected. Months passed, savings disappeared, banks rejected loan requests, friends worried, but something inside him felt stronger. Failure had removed fear. He had nothing left to lose. He made a dangerous decision. Every remaining dollar would go into one project, one story, one chance. Production was exhausting. He animated during nights, recorded sounds himself, redrew scenes endlessly. Some days he doubted everything. Other days he felt unstoppable. The character slowly came alive. It didn't talk, but audiences who previewed early clips became emotional. One viewer whispered, "I don't know why, but I feel understood." That sentence kept him going. The release wasn't grand. No red carpet, no marketing empire, just a small theater screening arranged through borrowed favors. He sat in the back row, heart racing. Lights dimmed. The film began. Silence filled the room. Minutes passed. No reaction. Doubt returned instantly. Then, a small laugh. Someone wiped tears. Another laugh followed. Then another. Emotion spread quietly through the audience. By the ending scene, applause filled the theater. Not loud, but genuine. Real. The man didn't stand. He just sat there, breathing slowly. For the first time since bankruptcy, he felt whole again. Clips spread online. People shared reactions. Comments appeared. This healed something in me. My childhood feelings came back. I didn't expect animation to feel this deep. Studios that once ignored him reached out again, but this time he moved carefully. He wasn't desperate anymore. He understood value. The new studio he built wasn't bigger, it was wiser. Small teams, creative freedom, emotion first, profit second. Ironically, success followed naturally. Years later, someone asked him during an interview, "What was the worst moment of your life?" He paused, smiled slightly, and said, "The day my studio closed was the day I stopped pretending." People expected bitterness, but he felt gratitude, because losing everything removed everything fake. Failure didn't destroy him, it refined him. He never truly lost his studio. He lost his first version of himself. And sometimes, bankruptcy isn't the end of a dream. It's the moment a dream becomes honest. Because when nothing remains, only the real reason survives. And that reason is powerful enough to build everything again. Some people succeed because they never fail, but a few rare ones succeed because failure finally shows them who they were meant to be.